Here they come. Welcome, and please be seated. My name is Patricia Tucker, and as the Dean of the Evelyn Spiro School of Nursing, I am so happy to see all of you here after a rather long journey for our graduates. Family members, loved ones, spouses, children, parents, grandparents, friends, I know you're all here. I know you're all very much aware of what this journey was like for your loved ones sitting up here. I'm proud to say that we have the largest program here at Wagner College, which is obviously a small liberal arts college with professional programs. And for this particular group, our graduate students, they're receiving a master's degree today in either the Family Nurse Practitioner track or the Nurse Educator track. 2 advanced practice roles. They're advancing the practice that they have already perfected, and now going back into the healthcare arena to practice at a higher level. I couldn't do this all alone. It takes an army, or it takes a team, as we all know, working in healthcare. I'm so proud of some of my faculty that are here today, and I'd like them, if they would, to stand, along with 3 of my staff members who make my job every single day possible and tolerable. Please stand. Dr. Ahern, who was our graduate program director, is here off to the side because she'll be coming up to the podium. There she is. And I have to do an incredible shout out to one person who I know each and every one of you would not have completed this degree without her daily, sometimes hourly, assistance of portfolios and typing and hours and adjuncts, and that is Lynn Tyson. We couldn't do this without you. It's a language not known to many of you that are not in healthcare, but it is such an integral part of this program and their completion hours. So Lynn, we are incredibly indebted to your work ethic when it comes to this particular process. I want to welcome everyone on behalf of our President, Angelo Aramo, and our Provost, who is our Chief Academic Officer, and that is Dr. Tasha Stanley. They've been in meetings with the Board of Trustees throughout the last few days as we get close to the end of the semester. I would also like to do a shout out to our Board of Trustees, who are incredibly supportive of my program, including Kimberly Spiro, who is a board member, and the youngest sibling of Don and Evelyn Spiro, who a good portion of this campus has benefited from their generosity. Again, as I said, these are advanced practice nurses who will now be going out and hopefully filling that gap, particularly in primary care, hopefully, which is welcoming FNPs today. There are several roles of the advanced practice nurse, but the family nurse practitioner, it's a very broad role that can really be placed into a lot of different settings. You can continue your work in a healthcare organization, a freestanding facility, you can open up your own facility. We have nurse practitioners that are very, very prominent right here in our community that own and operate their own practices. So whatever your choice is, I'm asking today to please elevate your knowledge to that next level. We need you. And of course, nurse educators, we want to retire soon. So I have a few of you here in the room, and I'm sorry to say that Dr. Jane DeFazio, who oversees the nurse educator track, had a family emergency upon arriving and wanted to stay, and we all chased her home. So, other people? Oh, I'm so sorry. We have family members out in the rain. Oh, my goodness.
There's no steps there.
No. Okay, we have a seat right in the front here. I'm so sorry. I was not aware that someone was out there. I'm very sorry. But I can tell you it's quite warm in here, so I think you'll warm up pretty quickly. All right. So let's have a wonderful day despite the dreary weather, and it is my pleasure to welcome my dear friend and colleague, Dr. Kathleen Ahern.
Okay. Congratulations to all of you. No matter what track you're in, the NP or the educator, I was the one initially going over your files, your letters, and the acceptance letter, actually came with my name on it saying you have been accepted here, and I've been your advisor for all this time. Some of you I know better than others, and I know the different trials you went through to get here with working and trying to study and family responsibilities. So I'd like to give you a little bit of advice. My husband says I'm always giving advice. Even I go in the grocery store, which I do rarely, and I go, their feet are swollen. I think I have to talk to them. And he said, no, can you just stop being the nurse? But, once a nurse, always a nurse. And I always think no matter the letters after my name, I started off with a diploma in nursing from Bellevue. I always say the title that, as far as initials, that I think are most important is that RN. So don't forget, no matter what degrees you go on for, that you are a nurse. And that is really the most important thing. Admiral William McRaven wrote a book, Make Your Bed. And some of you may be familiar with it, and he gives a lot of advice on different things that we can do to change our lives and change the world while we're changing our lives. So I've taken some of his words and paraphrased them. And one of his chapters deals with that you need to find someone to help you paddle. And he does it in terms of talking about when he was training to be a Navy SEAL. But he says, don't go it alone. You need people in your life to help you through the difficult times because you can't paddle the boat alone. And so you want to be, and some of this is my words, you want to find that person or persons, but most importantly, you want to be that person to somebody. When you see them, they are struggling to paddle. So think of something good to say. That I remember when I was a nurse manager, and later on one of my staff said to me, when she was no longer my staff, said to me, I remember when I was on orientation, and I knew I was messing up, and you knew I was messing up, and having some trouble with the technology and so forth. And you said to me, I love the way you speak to patients and families. You are really able to comfort them. And I know at that point, I was really trying to find something good to say because she was struggling. But, she went on to be a wonderful nurse, but it was years later, and she still remembered that. So try to think of that so that not only do you not paddle alone, but the person next to you will not be paddling alone also. So make as many friends as you can as possible, and never forget that your success depends upon others. Thank you.
I failed to just give some housekeeping rules, if you would just indulge me for a second, and I think we have another knock on the door. No, now we're hearing knocks. The entire ceremony is being videoed. It will be uploaded and on a link by the weekend. We also have the services of a professional photographer who is taking beautiful pictures that will be available also online. I ask that you please follow theater etiquette as we're in a theater. Please silence your phones unless absolutely necessary to keep it on, and then I would ask that you put it on vibrate. Obviously, when the lights are dark and people are standing and using their phones and flashing, it throws off the professional picture. So just allow the photographer to get a beautiful picture of your loved one and my faculty, prior to everybody standing and shooting pictures. I usually would say no pictures, but I know that's impossible. I would also like to say that we will do a group picture at the end that will be all set up by the photographer, and then he is available for a short time afterwards for individual pictures if you would like with one of your family members. Okay? It is my pleasure now to welcome our dear friend and colleague and partner here at Wagner, and that's Chaplain Holly Bonner, to come up and give us some words of wisdom.
Good morning, everyone. I love coming to these different ceremonies for the School of Nursing as a cancer survivor, somebody who's legally blind. I have had many healing experiences at the hands of nurses. And this morning, I am here to give the blessing of the hands to our graduates. So before I begin, I want to explain the significance of what the blessing of the hands is. And the blessing of the hands has long been a symbolic gesture to recognize the healing hands and the work of nurses. So regardless of your religious affiliation, all scripture, all early houses of worship, they used to use oil for the purposes of anointing. So prophets, priests, and kings, they were all anointed as a sign to the community that the person had a special role, a mission, a call to a greater purpose. And each of the Wagner nursing students here today is affirming their purpose. You have chosen to dedicate your lives to the service of others. Now, because of COVID, I can't go right next to you to physically anoint each of your hands with oil. However, the act of this blessing is no less symbolic. You must never forget that the hands of nurses and being a nurse are the eyes and ears of the Almighty Creator. So I want to ask each of you to cup your hands in front of you, and you're going to receive this blessing. Blessed be the works of these hands. Blessed be these hands that have touched life. Blessed be these hands that have nursed pain. Blessed be these hands that have embraced with passion. Blessed be these hands that have been tasked with caring for our community. May each of you be blessed with the spirit of gentleness and a heart that is tender. May you be blessed with the spirit of strength shining within you. May you be blessed with the spirit of courage, daring to be who you are. With this blessing, the Wagner College community prays that your hands and your hearts are strengthened for the work that lies ahead. We pray that each of you are compassionate to human need, tender and strong in your care for one another as fellow nurses, genuine in your friendships, and always, always faithful to your commitment to this very special ministry. May our God of many names bless and protect each of you as you fulfill your divine purpose. Each of your hands has been blessed, and I encourage you to use those hands to make your mark on the world and the community with kindness. Amen.
Thank you so much, Holly. Holly was with us yesterday as well for our undergraduate pinning ceremony. I thank you for your time and your commitment to our program. Okay, I think I am going to welcome two of the graduate faculty who, without the two of these folks, and Dr. Edna Morales, who is not here, and Dr. Doris Corona, who is also dealing with a crisis in her family, those are the folks that really get you across the finish line. So I'd like to welcome at this point Dr. Peg Turgeson and Dr. Nancy Charovsky to come up. I know we'll have the student speakers next, but if they want to come up and get settled. And then we will move on into the presentation of certificates. Again, we call this a completion ceremony. It's the completion ceremony for the completion of your degree. We play the pomp and circumstance because we know some of you are not able to come back to commencement. But I want to do a shout out right now that we welcome you back in May. You are part of the May commencement ceremonies, and we've made some changes here at campus to make it a little bit more amenable to the adult population. It's on a separate day from the undergrad, so you're not sitting there for a long time. And it is exclusive to the graduate and the doctoral students. It's on the calendar already. Please read our emails. You will have the Wagner email for quite a while after leaving, and we welcome you back because it's a ceremony that celebrates the level of commitment and this degree separate from the undergrads. Thank you.
Okay, good morning. I'd like to start with our student speakers. Our first speaker is a nurse educator, Christina Salerno. I have a warm, go ahead, Christina. I have a warm place in my heart for nurse educators because that's what I did first. My first master's as a nurse educator, and then like I did to Megan, I pulled her along with me to Family Nurse Practitioner postmasters. So our first speaker is Christina.
Good morning and welcome Dean Tooker, administration, faculty, family, friends, and my fellow graduates as we gather to celebrate the Evelyn L. Spiro School of Nursing Masters in Nursing completion ceremony. My name is Christina Salerno and I am honored to speak on behalf of my fellow classmates in the Nurse Educator track. Whether you are graduating today as a family nurse practitioner or a nurse educator, many of us are faced with similar challenges throughout the course of the program. Many of us started the program in August 2019, and just a few months later, the COVID pandemic arose in March 2020. We worked tirelessly as frontline nurses just as we began our journey in graduate school. We were challenged to complete our degrees while trying to maintain both our personal and professional lives. We all shared a common goal, to give our patients the best care possible while furthering our education to become more competent nurses. The COVID pandemic was not only challenging for students, but for the faculty as well. They quickly adapted to this life-changing situation so that we could have the opportunity to stand here today. Our classes went from traditional in-person classes to online classes. Both the faculty and students faced challenges in adapting to this new way of teaching and learning, but with the support from one another, we successfully completed several semesters before it became safe to go back to the traditional classroom setting. I want to discuss the importance of nurse educators by sharing some statistics. According to the American Association of Colleges of Nursing's report, U.S. nursing schools turned away 92,000 qualified applications from baccalaureate and graduate nursing programs in 2021 due to an insufficient number of faculty, clinical sites, classroom space, clinical preceptors, and budget constraints. In October 2022, the AACN identified a total of 2,200 full-time faculty vacancies in 900 nursing schools across the country. Nursing studies also show that 1/3 of the nursing faculty workforce in baccalaureate and graduate programs are expected to retire by 2025. This supports the critical need for a new generation of qualified nurse educators to prepare future nurses. While many of you are familiar with the roles of the family nurse practitioner and what it takes to become one, I would like to share the same for nurse educators.
My classmates and I have completed the necessary coursework and teaching requirements in order to develop and educate future and current nurses. We have completed hours throughout the different scopes of nurse educator practice, including academia, staff development in hospitals, and clinical settings. As nurse educators, we are prepared to enter the workforce in our new roles to educate, mentor, and inspire young minds. We will mold the future nurses in becoming competent providers and teach them the important values of nursing, including compassion, advocacy, empathy, leadership, professionalism, and commitment. Our dreams of becoming nurse educators could not have turned into reality without the support and dedication of the faculty here at Wagner College. In closing, I will share a quote from Nelson Mandela, who once said, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you could use to change the world." Congratulations to all the graduates of the Evelyn L. Spiro School of Nursing, class of 2022.
Thank you, Christina. And now I'd like to ask Jillian Sheehy to come up. She is speaking on behalf of the Family Nurse Practitioner students.
Well, we've finally made it. It's been 3.5 years of hard work, dedication, and sacrifice. Looking back, I'm not sure how we did it, given our busy and very full lives. And who would have thought it would be possible to be able to make time to fit in classes, exams, presentations, and the most time-consuming of all, the 600 hours of clinicals. But here we are, we truly made it to the finish line. I think I can speak for the class when I say that we have learned a lot about ourselves throughout this program. We learned that we had the strength, the dedication, and the perseverance to endure these past 3.5 years. Personally, this experience has taught me that whatever I decide to do with my life, as long as I set goals and come up with a plan to obtain those goals, I will never stop moving forward and enhancing life for me and for my daughter. The speech here today is dedicated to all of our future endeavors, our youth, our predecessors who paved the way, and to those who strive to make a difference in their own personal lives and in the lives of others. If I could share a lesson I learned, my advice to each and every one of you would be to never give up when things are tough, never stop learning, and never stop striving to achieve your dreams and goals. When you have the will, the drive, the ambition, and the fire inside of you to be successful, your dreams are attainable. Follow your heart and continue to make intelligent and fulfilling choices in order to be successful in the future. At this time, I'd like to thank the entire faculty at Wagner College for their guidance and support throughout this program. I'd like to thank our families for their understanding, their patience and support. And I'd also like to thank all of the preceptors in the community who have graciously and wholeheartedly accepted students into their practices willingly and with an eagerness to teach. One of our preceptors, Dr. Koplow, and his dog, made it very clear that he is a strong advocate of precepting students and feels it should be mandatory for all healthcare providers to take on students as part of their license renewal process. I personally agree, given the growing profession and the need for advanced practice nurses. Taking on students is a way to bridge the gap between novice and experienced professional nurses. The essence of nursing encompasses the whole being in all different stages of health and wellness. As we approach this new chapter of advanced practice nursing, and our role as nurse has shifted from healthcare deliverer to advanced healthcare provider, we take an oath and solemnly swear to treat each of our patients with dignity, respect, and to the best of our abilities. The experiences that we have had while completing our clinical hours have stressed us out, made us laugh a lot, and made us cry. We've made friends, we've networked, and we've learned what it means to be a part of the healthcare community as a provider. All in all, this program has shaped us to become professional, advanced practice nurses with a drive to succeed within the profession and within the community. I am honored to have spoken at this ceremony on behalf of my classmates, colleagues, friends, and fellow nurse practitioners. What we have accomplished will forever be one of our dreams come true. And I have a quote from Robin Williams from the movie Patch Adams. He said, you treat a disease, you win, you lose. You treat a person, I guarantee you win, no matter the outcome. Excuse me. I wish health, happiness, and success to the graduating class of 2022. Thank you.
I've been told that I could not be heard. Can you hear me now? I've never been told I was quiet. All right, thank you. Okay, now myself and Dr. Shavovsky will be giving out the certificates. I will be starting with the 4 educators first in place of Dr. DeFazio. It's impossible to take her place, but when she came in this morning, we knew she just could not be here, stay with us. So on her behalf, I am going to be calling your names, and the first name is Michelle Beauvais. Christina Salerno. Jessica Salerno. And Jenna Suska. Now I'll start the nurse practitioners. It's Ina Abramuk. Lizette Aldrich Gerges. Tara Alschuler. Lisa Marie Aluzo. Elizabeth Bennett. Katarina Bayer. Yuha Kao. Erica Somalia. Megan De Benedetto. I know you're crazy. Bianca Donato Ragan. Mary Fanaro. Aldridge Gamboa. Christina Gargiulo. Irina Gashenko. Caitlin Gonzalo. Anna Greffenston. Alexandra Hannon. Dominica Ann Justino. Barbara Ifani. Calliope Kunomi. Veronica Lasca-Taliva. Natalie Lafrino. Julia Mayman. Megan McDivitt. Jeremy Merchant. Blessing Ngozi Wiki. Erin O'Connor. Rachel Padula. Vadim Polishuk. Maria Randazzo. Jillian Sheehy. Victoria Straczynski. Christopher Sorensen. Menaka Tilakaratna. Caroline Thurlow. Cheryl Tobia. Carolina Truchel. Donavine Tulo. According to the program, we have some awards we're giving out, but before we do that, I'd like to ask everyone to stand. I have driven the Family Nurse Practitioner students crazy for a year. If they heard one more time, put the cell phones away, they were going to hang me. But I wish you nothing but happiness, success. I'm so proud of all of you. And God bless Lynn, we got those portfolios done. And the Nurse Educator students, as Dr. Tooker said, we need you desperately. But I'd like to introduce the class of 2022 graduate students for the Evelyn L. Spiro School of Nursing. Okay, everyone can take their seats. All right, you're on.
Hi, good evening. Good listen to me. You can tell how many ceremonies we've had in the last couple of days. My name is Dr. Nancy Charovsky. I have the pleasure of handing out awards that the Department of Nursing gives to the graduate students. These awards have been ongoing for a long time now. So with great pleasure, I would like to give the Anne-Marie C. Sortino Award to Michelle Bovey. No, it's all right. No, you take the picture. Yes. The next award that I'm giving is actually an award in memory of my mother. Her name was Marie Pickett. It's called the Marie Pickett Community Health Award. It's for a student that I felt and the faculty felt always fought for causes that helped individuals in the community or nurses. Actually, this award is for someone that actually does a lot for nurses, fighting for political causes to make the role of the nurse better. And with great privilege, I'd like to give it to Christopher Sorensen. The Outstanding Academic Achievement Awards actually go to two sisters. They actually go to Christina Salerno and Jessica Salerno. We have another award, and it's entitled the Outstanding Academic Achievement Award, and that goes to Erin O'Connor. Where's the pictures? Yes. The highest academic achievement award goes to Barbara Efani. The Anne-Marie C. Sortino Award goes to Jenna Tziska. This is the last one. And the last award goes, which is entitled the Constant Byron Award, and that goes to Jeremy Merchant. I would just like to tell all of you to wish you the best always. You know that. If you need anything, we're always just by email or phone. Just a few things. Please, please, nurse educators, you have the CNE boards. Please think about taking them. I know it's the last thing you want to hear from us is more studying, but it is important to have that certification as you go on to be the role of the nurse educator. And we really support you. And you know, we would love to also, if any of you are thinking of maybe teaching in a clinical role or otherwise, please reach out to us, because now with your master's degree and your education degree and your nurse practitioner certifications, we really need you, okay? So the family nurse practitioners, please take your boards. You don't wait too long. You know, the longer you wait, then a lot of the information that you have, stored now in your brain you're gonna lose it. So please do that. And on my way here this morning, honestly, I got an urgent call again from a former student named Stephanie Hopkins, who is a nurse practitioner at NYU, and she's the only nurse practitioner in a 13-male cardiology practice, and it's a very well-known practice. It's preventive cardiology. She's desperately seeking, one of her favorite doctors is desperately seeking an RN that would want to transition to the FNP role, which is all of you, most of you, that it's a part-time position, but they need it filled, and he wants a Wagner grad, because he's so impressed with Stephanie, he wants a Wagner grad. So if anyone is interested, please email me. I know today's a very important day for you, but email me. I'd like to connect you to Stephanie to see if this is something you'd like to do. Okay, so it's important. And we do have a Doctor of Nursing Practice program at Wagner, and a few of you have reached out to me, particularly Chris and Jeremy, who have been together since the 3rd grade together, these two. I didn't know that until recently. What a cute story. But the FNPs we would like you to consider, I know you don't want to hear any more schooling right now, but it is a terminal degree in the field of nursing. It is something that you've already worked towards. It's just a continuance of that to give you more leadership roles, just more roads open for you. So again, the application deadline is in August, but please reach out to me anytime, and I'd love all of you to come back. And my gift to you, Lizette put it into my mind, I'm going to give you, maybe you don't want them, you could throw them out, all of my lectures that are updated in common management and in pharmacology. I'm going to put it in a folder and send it out. I'm going to ask Jen and Lynn to send it out to all of you so you have it. Just, you don't have to use it, but it's hopefully maybe it will help you while you're studying. Okay? All right, I wish you the best.